Yeah.
Hey guys, Savat the Mighty here, and I'm back with another Eve Echoes video. So before we get started in today's video, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping on yesterday's video. So I got quite a few comments and people asking me all sorts of different questions, so I wanted to see if I could answer those to the best of my ability, and also showcase a couple of things before we start today's video. So the first thing I want to show you guys is you don't have to be a math scientist or a genius or even somebody who just dabbles in math. Even the formulas themselves, there's actually online calculators that you can use to figure it out yourself. And I'm going to show you one of those that you can use here today. So if you wanted to figure out what your DPS of your ship can handle for the tank, you can put in the calculations yourself and not even actually have to have the formulas. And here, let me just pull that up and show you. So if I come here, and I will leave the link to this site in the description. This is an online calculator, and on here it's a percentage calculator. You can use the formula what minus p% is y, and you're just going to type in here whatever the percentage of your resistance is for your armor hardeners or shield hardeners. Over here, how much damage per second that your shield repper or armor repper can repair, and then you hit calculate. When you do that, it's going to give you the answer down here, and that will be your number for the actual DPS for that damage type that you can take. So I kind of just wanted to show you guys that if you are looking to do this, you don't have to have super formulas or anything like that, even though it gives you all of the calculations and everything on there. So if you wanted to teach yourself, you definitely could, or even plug it into some type of spreadsheet so you could always have it handy. But I just wanted to make that kind of clear, and we're actually going to use this tool here today to calculate another question that I had in the comments. So one of the questions that I had was, if you take off one of the shield boosters on the rock and just add another hardener, would it actually do better? And the answer to that is sort of. So let's take a look here. Let me go ahead and turn this off and get this out of our way. So I have the rock here. I did exactly what was requested, I think. I took off one of the shield boosters itself, and we put on another adaptive hardener. What that did for our defense is we have an EM resistance of 78, thermal 84, kinetic 87, and explosive 89. Now again, this ship is fit out just for the thermal and the kinetic, so I'm looking at the lower of those two, which in this case is going to be 84%. And so if we come back over here and bring up our calculator, what we know here is our shield boost amount is 914. Actually, let me get rid of that so you can see that real quick. So I have this up here. As you can see, the shield boost amount is 914 over 6.16 seconds. So for the first part of that, that's actually very, very simple. You just use a regular calculator. Or if you do it in your head, if you're much better than I am. So we're just going to take 914 divided by 6.16. And that gives us 148.376. And again, because our resistance are a little bit better, normally would round that down, but we're just going to go ahead and round it up to 149 to do the makeup for that other number. So 149, that's how much we have. All right, excellent. So we'll go over here and we'll do 149. And our resistance is 84%. And calculate. So if we do that with the 84% being the lowest and it boosting for 149, it is going to be able to withstand 931.25 DPS of thermal kinetic. So if you're fighting the Galente ships, as long as they're doing 931.25 DPS or less, this tank will be able to tank them indefinitely. Is it stable? Absolutely. And it's even going to be stable here with running your propulsion if you need to. Again, you're in a battleship, so you shouldn't be running your propulsion all the time. And where is this actually sitting stable at? It's just barely stable. And so it does require to have the large energy Nosferatu running in order to do that. However, let's take a look at a couple of things here just to get you more of an idea and hopefully answer any questions that might come from this. We're going to go ahead and dock. Okay. Now I'm going to come in here and I am going to remove the afterburner eventually. Well, put on something else. It just broke because I did it too quick before we actually finished docking. We'll unfit it again, and we're going to unfit the Nosferatu in this case. Alright, so with all of that done, the capacitor on here is going to last 20 minutes and 43 seconds. So it's still not cap stable without the Nosferatu on there, even with not running the afterburner, but 20 minutes and 43 seconds is quite a bit of time, and you're probably not going to be running the shield booster forever. So I hope that answered the questions regarding that. I'm going to go ahead and cut this here and answer some other questions real quick, and then we'll jump into the video. Okay, I'm back with the second question on there. This one goes out to Super Pickle Gaming. He said, why didn't you use a Cynabal for the test, as a Cynabal does have the perfect stats for this. And the reason why I didn't use the Cynabal for the test is because I wanted to showcase both of those and ships that specifically had bonuses to both of their respective tanking. So you could actually see what it looks like even when it wasn't getting the bonus. But that being said, I will go ahead and show you the Cynabal right here and right now so you can see that as well. And so as you can see, this is with max stats. The Cynabal has 8,449 in both armor and shield tanking. The only thing that changes on here is the resistances. Now, here's the real big issue with this. So the Cynabal itself is not a big lumbering ship that's just going to tank the damage. It's going to be speed tanking, and that speed tanking is going to help mitigate a lot of the damage. So just saying that this is going to sit there and take shot after shot, it doesn't tank that way, which is what makes it not such a great example for what's going on. However, for the purposes of this, we can take a look at it and try to figure it out. We're gonna take off the NOS. And we are going to take off the afterburner because we don't care about those. And we actually don't care about the damage on this ship right now either. Now this ship is rigged out for damage and speed, as it should be. So let's see if this ship does get caught. Let's say you get caught with your pants down, where you're going to be sitting at. Well, the shield tanking here, you're sitting at 1 minute and 44 seconds. Let's go ahead and, well, I guess that's not fair. We should put the NOS back on. Because again, this one is going to be shield tanking. So yeah, let's do it right. Now your fit's probably going to be drastically different than this on yours. I was just messing around with this. I have not fitted out completely for the way I want it. Put this crap back on. I can't believe I did that. Going to make a lot more sense to see exactly where its power grid would really be at. The gyro stabilizer is the one for cannons, right? Overheating cannons. Okay. There we go. Alright, so back up with a just general setup for the ship. If you wanted to make it a little bit more tanky, you're going to be running the two hardeners there. I like capped batteries personally, but you don't really need to have them at all with this ship. It can run just fine without it. I'm lazy. So let's undock this thing. Docking takes forever these days. And let's go ahead and stop. So let's say I wanted to fight the Galente again. We're just going to keep using those guys as an example. This ship doesn't have any type of rigs to actually help out with defense. Let's turn these things on. And it's going to be sitting here with the shield tank, and we're boosting at 914 again. So I already know, what is it? That should be 149. And what we're looking at here is, for the defense, our lowest is thermal, which is 58. And so if we do that, this ship can actually tank 354.76 DPS a second with the shield tank. So 354.76. And this is using a large. So 354.76. That's where it's sitting at. It can do that for roughly 2 minutes. So basically, you have 2 minutes to get rid of the guys webbing you so you can get your speed tank back. Should be very doable. in most encounters. However, if you get caught, you could just get blapped. I mean, ugh, 354.76 isn't a lot of DPS for the purpose of a T10. So what's our lesson here? Don't get caught by webs. Just don't do it. It's bad for your health. All right, so 354.76 is what it's going to do for 2 minutes with shield tanking. Now, if we do the same thing with the armor tank, let's come down here, and we're going to grab that, and large armor rep, and that. We can already see this last 8 minutes and 21 seconds. That's literally 3 times as long. Maybe even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe even 4 times as long. Roughly. So you can definitely last a whole lot longer. However, what's it going to do? Remember, our shields were healing us for 354.76 DPS. They were preventing that much. As long as it wasn't doing that, we're good to go. With the armor tank, it's going to be lower. We already know that from our previous examples. Okay. So for armor, we're looking at 57. So in this case, it's going to be lower, but it's not going to be that much lower, I would imagine. And we're doing 1,371. 1,371. And that is going to be divided by 10.9. 125.77. We can round that up to 126. So 126, it's only going to stop 293 DPS a second. So 293 DPS a second here, however, it does last 4 times as long. So there's your big difference there. And one of the cool things about this, that 57, well, actually it's 50. I apologize. I went by the wrong one there. So we got to do the 50%. Let me get you the right number there. 252. 252 DPS. 50%. Okay. So that is where we're sitting at with that ship. So, and the Cynabal, with it's already lasting so little, you might as well go for the shield tank. The shield tank is going to be better. Because again, you got the speed that's on your side. And with running the speed all of the time, you're not going to take much damage, so you're just going to have to heal periodically. The shield tank is actually going to do you better in that aspect. Not to say that you can't armor tank this thing, you absolutely can. Again, what you're looking at here is it's going to last you a whole lot longer. They do have to get through that shield, so you have that buffer before you're even going to have to go into this. So you might not be scared and use any energy whatsoever. So look at it this way. If you wanted to, you can throw the armor tank on here, and you have the tank as a backup. So you're speed tanking and your shield's going down, and you don't care until your shield actually gets all the way. So if your speed tank fails a little bit and it gets through your shields, then you're actually going to start armor repping. And so you're not actually getting scared if your shield does go down and hitting that shield boost button using Precious Cap. So if you're doing something that you're comfortable with and you know you can pretty much speed tank it, armor tanking may be a great way to just pick off that little bit of damage. However, if you don't like seeing any red on your shields whatsoever, shield tank. Shield tank's most likely going to be the most optimal. It's going to definitely mitigate the most damage in this case. Alright, so that takes care of that. I'm going to go ahead and go into today's video. Alright, now that the housekeeping's done, we can go ahead and get this started on the video. So this video I actually had planned out to be my 600 subscriber video, but it actually took me a little bit of time to get around to what I wanted to do with this video, that we've actually shot past that 600 subscriber. So for that, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. I do really appreciate you guys. Feels like just the other day I was doing my 300 subscriber video basically thanking you all again. So I really do appreciate everybody. I want to thank everyone who's been here since the beginning, everyone who's joined along the way, and for all the people watching in the future, thank you too. I really do appreciate all of your support. Thank you for helping me get this far with Eve Echoes and my content that I create. Really, really, really do appreciate everyone. So thank you. Now, what I did when I got to the 600 subscribers is I decided that I was going to invest my ISK into a new ship. So I decided to upgrade my Alt's ship and I jumped him into a Cynabal. So this is the Cynabal, and I don't have max skills, nowhere near, but I kind of wanted to show you guys where he was at with that and everything that he does have so far. So if you do remember my alt account originally was in everything frigates, and I think Jita is where my frigate currently is, yeah. So he basically specialized in this Dramiel, and basically almost maxed it out to the point to where I was training up the last end of the skills. Expert Cannon 5 only has 6 days left on it, and I would finish that, but I decided to pick up the Cynabal and start training into that, and I kind of want to show you my progress and where I'm at and what's going to go on, because this is going to make for some exciting things. My main has the Phantasm, and now my alt has the Cynabal, so I'll be able to do some dual boxing and have some fun, maybe doing some content with both of those, doing some things together. I know a lot of people who do watch my content already do have Cynabals, and they fly those as their main ships. So I kind of really just wanted to show off where I was. So this guy here, his frigate command was 5, advanced 5, and frigate expert was 3. And destroyers he didn't do anything with. Cruiser command, which I just started training into not too long ago, is sitting at 4. Advanced cruiser command is at 3. And 4 is on the chopping block there. So it doesn't really have a lot into that as of yet. For navigation, we have Afterburner 5, and I was going up to Advanced Afterburner 5. It is on the queue as well, and that'll put me getting up to Expert. Haven't really touched anything else in here. Shield Operation is at 5. I haven't bothered going into Advanced Shield Operation or Expert or Shield Hardening as of yet. One of the reasons why I haven't gone into Hardening is I know I'm going to actually get that skill that's going to put that to 5 whenever I get there. Give me that big boost to it, so I haven't even bothered and wasting my time there. Armor Operation doesn't really have anything, has 2, and I think you get those for free, maybe? I might have accidentally trained 1 point into that. Frigate Defense is sitting at 5. Advanced Frigate Defense is at 5. It could start Expert Frigate Defense, but I just didn't. Cruiser Defense upgrade, though, I do have it at 4. Advanced Cruiser Defense upgrade, I do have it on the chopping block as well, and it's about to go up to 4. And that's pretty much it for the defense upgrade there. For electronics, my frigate was 5-5, and I did pick up the skill, but hadn't trained anything into it yet for expert frigate engineering. I will get along to that. It is going to help out the power grid for all of my other frigates whenever I do decide to use them. And I do really love the expert engineering skills. I do have a little bit of destroyer engineering, but that's just because of the skills. And my cruiser engineering is sitting at 4. Advanced cruiser engineering, it's on the chopping block as well. And it is going to be going up to 4. I will get these higher with time, but again, like I said, I just wanted to show off where it was. Electronic warfare is 5, advanced is 3. Targeting, again, 5-3. And that's it for there. Now, weapons, I do have 2, I believe, in pretty much everything, which is what you get for starting out. For cannons, small cannon operation 5, advanced 5, expert 5. Small cannon, or well, expert is small cannon operation is 5. Small cannon upgrade 5, advanced small cannon upgrade 5, and expert small cannon upgrade is 6 days from being 5 as well. These are going to give those gyro stabilizer activation times plus 1 second per. So that is going to be a good thing to have at 5. It's going to help out the medium as well once I get there. And once I do get to the expert, it's going to give another 2 seconds there. So I am working on focusing just on the one weapon, so it can kind of be like whenever I do get to the large and have the large done, I will have that entire gyro stabilizer activation time that you see whenever I do the test servers and have all 5 skills. So there is something to be said about actually having all of your skills up to 55555 for everything to get those extra activation times. And I do believe once I do get the ability to, I will put him into a Macarial next as well. So he's just going straight down this cannon line. and gonna have all of that. So medium cannon upgrade right now is currently what I'm training into, and that is great. As far as industry skills, we have literally nothing except for what you start the game with. Social sciences, again, I think this is literally what you start the game with. Applied science, we have absolutely nothing. And natural science, for the biology, we do have the first two, but I actually don't have the third one. Never actually purchased it on my alt account. So he is training a little bit slower. The other thing is he's going to be able to join my main account and doing the higher end stuff with him choosing the missions at 13 days. Now, one thing I did find out about grouping them together, as long as I have my main account select the missions, he is able to go along with my main account in those harder missions as an assist. I can warp in with him. And so even though he doesn't have access, he can definitely go in and assist with those. Now, the fitting on my Cynabal, as you can see here, I am rocking 751.56 DPS. Only 20 DPS for my drone and 20 km range. I have literally 0 drone skills whatsoever, none. So that is just going to be your base damage off your drones right there. In the high slots, which there are 5 of, I do have, and this is the live server, I have GIST C-type and medium autocannons. I have those in every single slot. I do have a Verkalakas medium energy Nosferatu. I only have a Republic Fleet Stasis Webifier and a Republic Fleet Target Painter. Wasn't able to actually get the higher end versions of them yet. And to find a Haley Target Painter, that's a needle in a haystack. The drone, I have a Mark 7 Hammerhead, and it'll get upgraded to Mark 9 whenever that does become available, and this guy does have the ability to get those. In the low slots, I have a Corellium C-type medium afterburner. I also have a Pith C-type adaptive invulnerability field. I have 2 GIST C-type gyro stabilizers. And I have a Centis C-type large shield booster. 914 every 7.2 seconds. Not bad. The rigs on this ship, I am using a Cannon Burst Aerator, a second Cannon Burst Aerator, and a Cannon Collision Accelerator, all level 3s. So I have 1 damage, 2 activation times. For the rigs, I have a Auxiliary Thrusters 3 for 20% flight velocity adjustment. I have a Capacitor Control Circuit 2. Yeah, I know it's not the 3. Those things are expensive though, they're like 400 million. And I have a Polycarbon Engine Housing 3. So that's the minus 20% inertia modifier. I do like my inertia modifiers. It's probably one of those ones that I'll change out though from time to time. We'll have to see. So that is the setup on here. I do put other things on here. I swap around depending on what I need to do. So some of the other gear that I use in here is I do have the C-type reactive shield hardener, and I also have a Gistum C-type medium capacitor battery. And so I swap those back and forth, and it really just depends on what I want to do. Right now, this guy is stuck doing, for the encounters, just advanced. I can't actually do the hard yet by himself. So I'll sit here while I'm watching TV because, again, I'm trying to get this last advanced tutorial. Sorry about the vehicle there. I have neighbors who love to drive their fancy cars, or nice cars, actually. But they don't have mufflers, so they forgot to include that when they were building them in their garage. But I'm trying to complete just missions here to either accomplish that or get the actual bounties. I don't really care. I just play in my spare time, really. And I'm trying to get this completed so I can get the skill chip so I can go ahead and get the shield hardening level 5 out of here. I did go ahead and join the program with this guy, so he is on the skill catch-up. So he's close to his last day of catch-up here, and that did give him a lot of bonus experience in that manner, but I am losing out on quite a bit as well for not having that last skill chip trained up. I need to break down and invest into picking that up at some point. I just never bother doing that. Alright, so that is my ship, and I'm actually quite happy with the way it is currently right now. Unlike my Phantasm on my other account, this one does far more damage. I know it's running 2 damage mods in there currently, but it's at 751.56 DPS with the skills that he currently has, which are by no means top-end skills. Also, we're looking at 405.88 speed. The cap here is 1,120 out of 1,148. Oh, one of the things I actually kind of did want to show off here as well, and this is kind of cool. So see, my capacitor is at 1 minute and 19 seconds, and that is with this Vicarlocus medium energy Nosferatu running. If I change this to the Imperial Navy, 1 minute and 19 seconds. There's no actual feasible change. Having this one is definitely going to do a little bit better, but not enough to even add an additional second on there. So if you were thinking on your ship, oh, I don't have the absolute best on there, and I'm missing out on that, just that little bit more. Mind you, that might actually get up to an extra second or so if I have my skills maxed out. But if you don't have max skills, you're not looking at anything, the difference is not going to be that much. Now, one of the things here, it does have an optimal range of 11.04 with 6.16. And here it's 10.58 with 5.72 fall off. So you are getting that little bit more range out of it. So there's something to be said about that, but this ship likes to fight so close up. If you are using a very close range ship, the difference really isn't there. It's just going to give you that little bit more wiggle room. With the skills right now, his optimal range is 2.59 km with an accuracy fall off of 14.66 to do half damage. So that's it. That's the ship in a nutshell. Yeah, definitely not cap stable. Look at that. Capacitor capacity is 3,873 gigajoules with a recharge time of 515. Has 20 points for the radar sensor strength, scan resolution 503, signature radius 70, and max lock targets 7 units. Oof. But I do love this ship. I'm actually, I love it a lot more than I thought I would. One of the big problems it has right now is its tracking isn't quite good enough and to work at the speeds. And it works okay, but it can do a whole lot better. But as soon as I get this advanced medium cannon operation up to 5, that's gonna help that out a little bit. Or I'm sorry, not the advanced medium cannon operation. That's just giving it its cannon damage and activation time. It's the cruiser command, which is going to give it the tracking speed and fall off. So that tracking speed, I really want to complete that and get that going a little bit better. But I'm going to go ahead and take this out. And again, like I said, I have the other pieces that I fit on here as well. I don't think I'm going to run with the 2 damage mods all of the time. It really does lack in the tanking department. But again, this is primarily a speed tank, so I don't worry about that too terribly much. Let's go ahead and pick up a mission, not a map. I don't want to go to a map. And see what we can do. Yeah, this one will be fine. Cool. Yeah, I know I don't have insurance. Can't afford it. I can't afford the insurance, not yet. So yeah, this guy here, really do like the Cynabal. It is a very good upgrade, and I will never stop calling it a Cynabal. I am very sorry. I know it looks like the flying cockroach, but it to me, it's always going to be the Cynabal. It's glazed over in goodness. So I thought this was going to be a very logical upgrade. I thought about considering just having him focus in the frigates, so I was really up in the air if I was going to buy a couple of faction frigates for him. But then I decided I can just win those off of Eternal Echoes whenever he does his weekly stuff, so I figured I'll just take my time and win those there, and I'll pick up the cruiser.
Warp drive active.
And I think it's going to be a pretty good get. I even think when I'm using the my main character, having this guy with me is going to help out tremendously. So if I do get into the Apocalypse first, the Apocalypse is going to be big and slow and fight at long range. And what I can do is I can have the Cynabal there with me, and it can just be circling around me, having fun, and basically try to pick off anything that may end up getting too close if it does get too close, and then move in and actually help me with cleanup whenever the missions get closer to being done.
Warp drive active.
So I think it's going to really improve my clear times for the tier 10 missions by having him there with me. I mean, obviously having another ship with you, multi-boxing is going to help him clear that faster, so... But just really think that this ship is a whole lot of fun, and I really do like it quite a bit more than I thought I would. Okay. So I'm going to set orbits to this guy. And we're just going to activate all of our stuff. Here, let's put that over there. We're going to hit one of our damage mod thingies. And it's sitting at 969.58 DPS. Now, I actually have this set up on kind of an AFK setup. I have all my stuff to set to auto orbit and auto fire the next target, because I'll literally just leave him to do these while I'm watching videos and just kind of manage what he does. Glancing down at my phone whenever I do that. I normally don't play this guy on my PC too terribly much. Quite yet. So, yeah, he'll just pick his next target, go over there with the auto orbit set up, and have a good time. As we can see here, because I don't have all max 5 skills and everything, my gyro stabilizers are not activated near as long as they would on the test server with those maximum skills. But I will get there. I will definitely get there with this guy, and he'll be able to have those up for quite some time. And that's going to be fun. I can't wait to be able to have that going for me. It's something that I've actually considered doing with my main account as well. I don't have small lasers trained on my main account at all. I didn't use small lasers. So I might actually go back in and train those up just to be able to get those heatsink skills. Now, at the start of every combat, of every wave, you will have to reactivate your Ewar Nosferatu type stuff. So, not truly 100% AFK because we have to activate those, but I mean, there's really not much of any type of threat here. Speed tanks pretty much everything. It's going to auto-orbit the next target. I don't even know why I'm clicking. And continue to do so, and as long as I keep my damage up, everything should be fine. So, in the beginning of this video, when we were looking at this ship in general, and we were talking about the shield tank versus the armor tank, one of the things I was saying is you could actually put that armor tank on there and be okay with it if you're just doing some minor stuff like this, because, again, what does it really matter? You have your shield as a buffer. If it does get to the armor, you're going to be able to repair. And you'll be just fine. So, I mean, if you did train up armor tanking, and you were looking at jumping into, like, let's say you were in Amar ships or the Galente ships, and you were armor tanking specifically, you could always jump into something like the Cynabal if you do happen to get your hands on one. Maybe you win one in a giveaway or something like that. And you really don't have to worry about not having those skills. And you can tank just fine. I mean, because it's primarily a speed tank. So it being primarily a speed tank, you're not going to be taking a whole lot of damage. So these encounters, as you can see, even with, I mean, this is less than a week's worth of training for these skills. Maybe just at a week. Somewhere around that time frame. And that's it. It's doing very well. All right, the first guy I actually want to get rid of is him. I don't like him. He has the ability to web us. Guess I should actually fire my guns, huh? So for these small frigates, I do a lot better when I'm further away from them. So even though I do my full damage when I'm at like 2.3 or whatnot, for the frigates being at 2.3, my accuracy does falter a little bit. But that's one of the reasons why I do like to have the rig in there as well to help with the ship's maneuverability. As you can see, when flying around this close, especially if there's obstacles and everything, without me even having to do anything, it can get itself back into orbit pretty quickly, turn pretty sharply, and keep up a respectable pace. It's not the fastest ship. Obviously, the Phantasm is going much faster than he does, but it still gets the job done. And it is able to speed tank no problem, and the bigger the ship, the easier it is. And this thing's going to get faster too. Oh, that's one of the things we didn't really look at here. With the way I have it set up, it's at 1111.92 speed. And let's take a look at the tank. So the defenses on here are 49 thermal and 62 kinetic. So it's not mitigating much damage from its tank regardless. Okay, so this will be over quite quickly, and as you can see, it just basically melts through these little missions. Even if there is a bigger one like the million ISK ones and stuff like that, it has no issue. So I really don't have a reason to have any bigger tank on it. I don't have a reason to have any of the energy for the cap battery or anything like that here. It's not necessary at this point in time. This ship is just able to tear through any of these little missions that I do, so having that more damage on there is just going to be all around better and help me accomplish my goals faster. Now when I do take this out with the Phantasm, I might put a little bit more of a tank on it, and the reason for that is because when I'm using two accounts at the same time, I'm not 100% focused, so I like to have more of a buffer, really. Oh, and just so you can see, if I do shield boost on here, look at that. It's that huge chunk goes away with one, but also look at my power grid. The capacitor grid, I apologize. It drops tremendously, so you really don't want to leave that good thing going. If you forget to turn that off and you're in the thick of things, you are going to burn yourself out of capacitor very, very quickly. And so it's really just there to top you off. So, I mean, honestly, with this fit, you don't even need to have the large shield booster. You could get away with a medium shield booster just fine, and you'd be a lot more stable. The medium shield booster would do you pretty good since you're just picking off ancillary damage. So that's pretty much it. That's my Cynabal, and this is mine on my live server on my alt account. It's going to be teaming up with my Phantasm on my main character, and like I said, later once I get my Apocalypse and everything, he's going to be out there too to help me do whatever I need to do. So again, I want to thank everybody for enjoying my content. I just kind of, again, wanted to show off on the live server what I'm doing and what I'm working towards, and all my little goals there. So I'm excited to be using this ship and in here and having a good time with my two faction cruisers, the Phantasm and the Cynabal now. And thank you again, everybody. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody for helping me get here. And I will see you in the next video. All right, take care. Bye.